Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I am Deepika, and coming up in the next 1 hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to attend special screening of the film Sabarmati Report in the Parliament today. Another day of Parliament ruckus as unrelenting opposition forces adjournment of both the houses in Parliament. Government intensifies rescue operation as heavy rains causes inundation in Krishnagiri district due to Cyclone Fengel. US President Joe Biden pardons his son Hunter Biden. Despite previous statements to the contrary, President-elect Donald Trump slams decision as an abuse and miscarriage of justice. And violent protests continue in Georgia against government decision to shelve European Union membership talks. So those were the top headlines of the hour that we're tracing for all our viewers here on DD India News Hour. And to begin with the top update of the hour. Now, days after penning a note of appreciation for the film The Sabarmati Report, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will watch the movie on Monday evening at the Parliament House. The screening is scheduled to take place in the Bal Yogi Auditorium within the Parliament House complex. Speaker of the lower house of the Parliament, Om Birla, will also attend the special screening of the film. The Sabarmati Report, which hit the screens on the 15th of November, is based on the 2002 Godhra incident. The film has been declared tax-free in Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. And to give us more updates on this, I am joined by DD India correspondent Arun Sharma. Good afternoon, Arun. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to attend the special screening of the Sabarmati Report film. Tell us more on this.
Good afternoon, Deepika. Well, yes, today 4 p.m. In the evening, a special screening has been, organized whereby Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will watch this movie, that is Sabarmati Report. Now, we know this fact, Deepika, that the films basically are the mirror of the society. But sometimes what happens, a fake narrative, is being put in the society by the certain sections of, of various groups for their personal motives. And this is what primarily happened in 2002 when Godhra incident took place. Various false narratives were set up to give a communal angle, and of course we know this fact that how the government of Gujarat at this point in time there were various allegations being put by various institutions, the media houses on the government of that point in time. But the truth was completely different. So this film, that is Sabarmati Report, that primarily talks about the truth as to what actually happened during the Godhra incident, and of course, how the media, certain section of the media tried to give a twist to the narrative for their personal gains, for the TRPs, and of course for influencing, certain sections of the society as well. So, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be watching this movie, that is Sabarmati Report, today at the 4 p.m. Along with the Lok Sabha Speaker, that is Om Birla, and various other parliamentarians as well. Now, important point is that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been vocal on several occasions that yes, false narratives, fake news should not be, that should be countered at every point. And this film primarily, it counters the fake narrative that was created at that point in time in 2002, and it brings out the truth as to what really happened. We know this fact that the judiciary has also given clean chit to the Gujarat government, and of course the leaders at that point in time in 2002 when the Godhra incident took place, and because of the false narrative and allegations that were put on the government at that point in time. So this movie digs out the truth, brings out the clear picture to the society, and this of course will play an important role in guiding the youth as well as to what happened in the history in 2002 and what is the reality. We know this fact that how various state governments have, made these movies tax-free, and tax exemption has been given to the film in various states, as you mentioned also. And of course, this movie is, we know this fact very, I'm sure must be very close to the heart of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well, because he believes in one fact that the false narrative should be countered at every point in time. And this film, which spent around the central character Vikram Masse, it revolves around him and how he counters it, what's his journey, how the truth is being dug out in the movie, everything is being explained, and therefore the false narrative is being countered, and therefore, of course, a special screening for Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Thank you so much, Arun, for joining us and bringing us all the latest information. Moving on. Now, both the Rajya Sabha or upper house and the Lok Sabha or the lower house of the Indian Parliament have been adjourned due to opposition ruckus till the 3rd of December. In the upper house, Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar rejected 20 notices on various issues submitted under Rule number 267. Dhankar, equating the repeated disruptions in the Parliament to Murphy's Law, urged the MPs to allow proceedings and not making it dysfunctional.
Honorable members, you all are undoubtedly cognizant of Murphy's laws, and they indicate anything that can go wrong will go wrong. It appears that there exists a deliberate algorithm to actualize Murphy's laws in this august House, consequently impeding the proper functioning of Parliament. I implore this House to permit me to proceed with the business listed on today's agenda.
Meanwhile, the lower house proceedings also witnessed disruptions due to repeated protests by the opposition members. Speaker Om Birla asked the opposition members to allow the question hour and said they could take up their issues later. Amid the din, one question was taken up. And to discuss more on this, I'm joined by DD India correspondent Vishal Baristo. Good afternoon, Vishal. Now, both the houses, as we know, have been adjourned until tomorrow. But tell us about today, how it went for the Parliament. We heard Jagdeep Dhankar talking about the Murphy's Law.
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Deepika. The day one of the second week looks like the repetition of the first week that was washed out. And in this week also, the opposition did not obey the instructions of the chair. They did not obey to the appeals of the chair in both the houses of the Parliament. And unfortunately, the first day of the second week was also washed out, and the houses, both the lower and upper house, have been adjourned till 11 a.m. tomorrow. And it is very unfortunate because Congress, while spearheading the attack, it was very surprising to see that their own MP had requested for a discussion on the floods because of the Fengal, and despite of his adjournment motion moved, his own party members did not relent and they continued causing disruptions, and that is why another day gone waste. And it is very, very unfortunate that despite appeals made by the chairs and also by the Prime Minister, the opposition is not relenting. Though they are a divided house, some of them, they want their voices to be heard, like the new entrants, like the MP from Azad Samaj Party. But mainly, it is the Congress Party which is here spearheading the disruption in both the houses of the Parliament. Also, Vishal, which are the major bills we are expecting, which are to be tabled this time at the winter session when the houses resume tomorrow? Deepika, there are 16 bills, and out of which only one could be introduced, which was today by the Shipping and Port Minister Sarbanan Sonowal, and it is aimed at reorganizing our shipping industry so that we have our own ships. But apart from that, immediately after the bill was introduced by the Shipping and Waterways Minister, the House had to be adjourned. Another bill which was there to be discussed, which was keenly contested, that was the Buck Amendment Bill. Now that bill has been, the tenure of the Joint Parliamentary Committee has been extended till the next session. So the JPC will now submit its report on the last day of the winter session. So far, no substantial business could be transacted because of the ruckus created by the opposition, mainly by the Congress party in both the houses of the parliament.
All right, thank you so much, Vishal, for joining us and bringing us the latest update on House proceedings so far. Moving on, India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal addressed the inaugural session of CII's Partnership Summit 2024. Commerce and Tourism Ministers of South Africa, Qatar, Bahrain, Bhutan, Nepal, Algeria, Cambodia, Myanmar, Senegal, Israel and Italy participated in the event. Union Minister Piyush Goyal, along with KPMG and HSBC, India also launched the report called Driving Make in India, a compendium of central and state government incentives. Addressing the event, the minister said that the goal of inclusive development can be achieved only through innovation and investment, and India is ready to work with shared future and responsibility towards sustainability.
When we look at the shared future, very clearly we all have responsibilities towards the environment, towards sustainability, but most of the countries on this platform are countries which are not the reason for the problem in the very first place. The damage to the environment was not caused by the global south or by the less developed or developing countries, but more by the developed countries. And therefore, this shared future, this shared responsibility towards sustainability, towards better supply chains, towards stable policies, will all have to be done with the recognition of a common but differentiated responsibility. We offer a hand of trusted friendship, trusted partnership. Today, India stands proud as a country which offers speed, which offers scale, is resilient, is determined to come out of the past, yet maintain its culture, its traditions.
The minister also added that India stands proud as a country that offers speed, scale, while maintaining culture and traditions. Now, India Inc. is expecting more investment measures in the coming budget to promote Indian growth rate to 8% level. Sustainability and push for Make in India are some of the buzzwords in CII Partnership Summit. TT India's Ajay Mishra spoke to the President, Volvo India.
You were talking about that you want to make Volvo, a frontier company for Make in India and for the trucks. Can you please elaborate? And also on the sustainability part.
India is a home market for us today. We are manufacturing trucks, we are buses, construction equipment in India, and we are now looking at further taking our volumes much higher. Over the next 5 years, our aim is to take our volumes and numbers to 3 or 4 times of our current numbers. So we are therefore working very hard. We are also looking at using the Indian, localizing more and more products and using the Indian value chain for exports to other countries. So from Volvo point of view, so we are looking at 5 times the growth, 5x of what we are doing today. So that's 5 to 10 times rather over the next 5 to 6 years.
Sustainability is one of the core focuses the government also said. So are you also focusing on the green technology, so to say, in the Volvo?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you're spot on. In fact, we are amongst the leaders when it comes to sustainable practices in the entire world. We are amongst the leaders when it comes to heavy-duty electric trucks the world over, in whether you look at US, Australia, Brazil. We are amongst the leaders in that. And in India, we are looking at initiatives with hydrogen. We are partnering with the other partners on looking at some pilots to be done for H2 of hydrogen. Yes, and we are also looking at on the demand of the government, Niti Aayog, we are also looking at an engine for marine application which works 70% on methanol and 30% on diesel.
And finally, about your expectations from the upcoming union budget for the next years.
No, I think, as I said before, a budget is a statement of a vision or your intent, and I think that's pretty much clear from this government that they're looking at a progressive, development-oriented budget, and we look at the same expectation from this current budget, from the upcoming budget as well.
With camera person Gaurav, Ajay Shah for DD India, New Delhi.
Time to take a short break, but still to come on DD India News Hour. Situation intensifies in Syria as Russian and Syrian warplanes bombed the rebel-held city of Idlib. In Romania elections, far-right groupings appear winning a third of seats.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India News Hour with me, Deepika. Now, Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has commenced his 4-day official visit to China on Monday. According to Nepal's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, PM Oli will call on Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing. Prime Minister Oli will also hold talks with his Chinese counterpart Li Qiang and exchange views on various issues of mutual interest. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is accompanied by a delegation including Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Arzu Rana Deuba, Economic and Development Advisor Dr. Yubaraj Khatiwada, parliamentarians, high-ranking government officials, private sector representatives, along with the media persons. Updates now from Bangladesh. The government in Bangladesh has stopped 83 ISKCON members from travelling to India through Benapole checkpost in the last 2 days, despite them possessing valid passports and the visas. Imtiaz Ehsanul Khwadir Pudia, officer in charge of the Benapole Immigration Police, confirmed that these ISKCON members from different districts of Bangladesh came to the immigration pole to go to India to perform religious ceremonies, and they returned them back. Now, Bhuya said these ISKCON members reportedly had valid passports and visas but lacked specific government permission for travel. He also said that they consulted the special branch of police and received instructions from the higher authorities not to permit them. Now, opening ceremony of the 16th session of the Conference of the Parties of the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification was held in Saudi Arabia's Riyadh. UNCCD COP16 is being held under the theme called Our Land, Our Future. Coinciding with the 30th anniversary of UNCCD, COP16 will be the largest UN land conference to date and the first UNCCD COP held in the Middle East and the North Africa region. In a symbolic gesture promoting environmental consciousness, India's Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Bhupendra Yadav, planted a sapling at the Indian Embassy in Riyadh ahead of the United Nations Conventions to combat desertifications at COP16. The tree planting ceremony aligned with India's Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam initiative, emphasizing the country's commitment to environmental stewardship. During his visit to the embassy, the minister also engaged with Indian students.
We are here in Riyadh to participate in the UNCCD conference. The theme of the conference about the future challenges of drought and desertification of land. Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, Tree for Mother Earth, is a unique movement and program started by our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. Actually, it is a program which is a climate action oriented, and we are here on this earth because of the reason It's our duty to plant a tree and make our earth as a green and clean.
Updates from Syria now. Russians and Syrian warplanes bombed the rebel-held city of Idlib on Sunday in an attempt to push back insurgents who've swept across northern Syria. The Syrian military rushed in reinforcements and said it was preparing a major counter-attack, while Moscow's air force joined the bombardment of Aleppo and Idlib. The Syrian forces have also been fortifying the northern province of Hamas. Syrian state news agency Sana reported that the army overnight pushed back opposition fighters in its northern countryside. The Syrian army said it had recaptured several towns on Sunday that had been overrun in recent days by rebels. Meanwhile, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi met with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad on Sunday in Damascus. During the meeting, Iranian Foreign Minister described the situation in Syria as difficult. Araghchi reassured the Syrian president that Tehran was ready to support the government in their counter-offensive. Arab leaders, including Jordan King Abdullah II and United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, have also called Assad to express their solidarity. Now, United Nations Special Envoy to Syria on Sunday appealed for all the stakeholders in the conflict to immediately seek a political resolution. The United States and its allies, France, Germany and Britain, called on Sunday for de-escalation in Syria and urged for the protection of civilians and infrastructure. The countries in a joint statement stated that the current escalation only underscores the urgent need for a Syrian-led political solution to the conflict in line with the UNSCR 2254. And now let's get you the latest update on West Asia conflict. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, has paused the delivery of aid through the key Kerem Shalom crossing between Israel and Gaza. UNRW Chief Philippe Lazzarini on Sunday said that the decision was made due to safety concerns after looting by armed gangs from inside Gaza. However, the UN official did not specify who was carrying out the looting. Meanwhile, Israel has denied the claims, saying there is no limit on supplies for the civilians. Kuwait's Emir Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmad Al Sabah called for a ceasefire in Gaza on Sunday during the opening of the 45th session of the Gulf Cooperation Council in Kuwait. The summit follows the recent implementation of a US and France brokered ceasefire agreement between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah groups in Lebanon, ending their deadliest clash in years.
We reiterate our full support for all contributions from the GCC countries aimed at stabilizing the region, including the leadership of the Brotherly Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in efforts to recognize the state of Palestine as part of the international coalition for implementing the two-state solution. Additionally, we commend their hosting of the joint Arab-Islamic follow-up summit.
On to the US now. US President Joe Biden on Sunday issued an official pardon for his son Hunter Biden, who's facing sentences for 2 criminal cases related to tax evasion and the purchase of a firearm. Here's more.
US President Joe Biden on Sunday issued an official pardon for his son Hunter despite assurances that he would not intervene in the legal troubles. Hunter was facing sentencing for 2 criminal cases, including a federal conviction for illegally buying a gun. The younger Biden has also pleaded guilty in a separate tax evasion trial, but had not faced sentencing. Biden had repeatedly said he wouldn't pardon his son. Biden's statement on pardon said Hunter was singled out only because he is the son of the US president. Expressing his dismay, President Biden said that he kept his word of not interfering in the judicial proceedings of his son, despite the fact that he was being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. The pardon has come after the White House press secretary said as recently as September that Biden wouldn't issue a pardon for Hunter. It is a full and unconditional pardon, and the decision cannot be rescinded by the President-elect Donald Trump. But that didn't prevent Trump from firing stinking salvos at Biden and the Democrats. In a social media post, Trump said, and I quote, Does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the J6 hostages who now have been imprisoned for years? Such an abuse and miscarriage of justice. It is not the first time that a president has used his executive power to commute the sentence of a family member. On his last day in office, former President Bill Clinton pardoned his half-brother Roger Clinton for an old cocaine charges, while Donald Trump pardoned his son-in-law father for tax evasion and other crimes. Ayushi Bhatnagar reports for DD India.
Now, clashes between protesters and police continued in Georgia's capital through the Sunday night. The crisis has deepened since Thursday's announcement that the government would freeze European Union talks for 4 years, sparking a wave of protest in the capital, Tbilisi, and other cities. Here's more.
The Black Sea nation has been rocked by turmoil since the governing Georgian Dream Party claimed victory in October 26th. Parliamentary polls that the pro-European opposition said were fraudulent. The opposition is boycotting the new parliament, while pro-Western President Salome Zurabishvili called for pressure to be brought on the Constitutional Court to annul elections. Both the opposition and Zurabishvili say the poll was rigged. Critics accuse Georgian Dream, in power for more than a decade, of having steered the country away from the European Union in recent years and of moving closer to Russia, an accusation it denies.
People of Georgia is trying to protect their constitution, trying to protect their country and the state, and they are trying to tell our government that rule of law means everything and integration into the European Union is our future, and we don't want them to drag our country into Russia. That's the past, and we want to move in the future.
We are protesting against our parliament, Georgian Dream, because they canceled the way to go to the European Union, and we don't want to wake up in Russia and be slaves of Putin.
Georgian Dream says it is acting to defend the country's sovereignty against outside interference. Georgian Prime Minister Irakli Kobakidze has ruled out rerun of a contested vote and dismissed criticism by the United States, which has condemned the use of excessive force against demonstrators.
The response is very clear. So we have not suspended anything related to the European integration. It's just a lie. And there are the opposition leaders, there are the media outlets linked with the opposition who are just lying to these people. But nobody has suspended the European integration of Georgia. We are very much committed to the European integration.
The EU and the United States are alarmed by what they see as Georgia's shift away from a pro-Western path and back towards Russia's orbit. The European Parliament has called for a rerun and for sanctions against top Georgian officials, including PM Kobakidze. Meanwhile, Russia is also following developments closely. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev's revolution was taking place and predicted that it will end rather badly. Bureau Report, DD India.
Now, Romania's ruling leftist Social Democrats is set to win the most votes in a parliamentary election on Sunday, while the far right secured big gains, deepening uncertainty in the NATO country rocked by political chaos. The vote is the second of 3 consecutive ballots for both a new parliament and a new president. With more than 85% of ballots counted, the pro-European PSD that has governed with the Liberals until now was leading the other parties with 23.5% of the vote. However, all the far-right parties combined stood at 30%, significantly up from the less than 10% they received in the previous vote in 2020. Time to take a short break, but still to come on DD India News Hour. An exclusive interaction on the ongoing India International Science Festival 2024. And up next is a special report on 40 years of Bhopal gas tragedy.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked, we just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after a short break. You're watching DD India News Hour with me, Deepika. Now, let's quickly take a recap of the top headlines of the hour. Another day of Parliament ruckus as unrelenting opposition forces adjournment of both the houses in the Parliament. Government intensifies rescue operation as heavy rains causes inundation in Krishnagiri district due to Cyclone Fengel. US President Joe Biden pardons his son Hunter Biden despite previous statements to the contrary. President-elect Donald Trump slams decision as an abuse and miscarriage of justice. Humanitarian assistance and disaster relief team comprising Indian Army troops of the Chennai Garrison Battalion rescued hundreds of civilians stranded in flood-hit areas of Puducherry. Now, given the situation, schools and colleges remain closed on Monday in Puducherry. Residents are advised to stay alert, follow local administration guidelines and take necessary precautions during this extreme weather event. The local authorities are closely monitoring the situation and providing necessary support to affected communities. The depression, which is a remnant of cyclonic storm Fengel over a north coastal Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, moved nearly westwards and weakened into a well-marked low-pressure area. The remnant low-pressure area is likely to emerge over southeast and adjoining east-central Arabian Sea off North Kerala-Karnataka coasts around the 3rd of December. Meanwhile, heavy rainfall continued across Tamil Nadu, causing significant disruptions. Farmers are facing significant crop damage as there are serious concerns about yield loss and potential crop discoloration due to the extensive flooding. Heavy rainfall over the past 2 days has caused various parts of Puducherry and Viluppuram districts to continuously appear in a flood-like situation. An Indian Meteorological Department has issued red alert in 5 districts of Kerala, including Malappuram, Kozhikode, Wayanad, Kannur and Kasaragod on Monday. Considering the red alert, State's Revenue Minister K. Rajan took review meeting of the situation in view of the warning issued by the Met Department. Holiday has been declared in educational institutes of all 5 districts. The state government has instructed the authorities to open relief camps in advance in case of continued heavy rains in the districts which are under alerts. And now to discuss the latest on this, I'm joined by DD India correspondent Anbarsan Ilango from Viluppuram. Good afternoon, Anbarsan. What is the latest update on the cyclone which is wreaking havoc across Tamil Nadu right now?
As you know that last 2 days of heavy rainfall in Puducherry and also Viluppuram, the Cyclone Fengel is crossed and it's going towards the western and northwestern parts of Tamil Nadu and also reaching the northern Kerala, as you said. Due to that, the last 2 days of heavy rain, the still Viluppuram and also Puducherry districts are heavily affected, and we can see all the reservoir and waterways of Puducherry and also Viluppuram is filled and going like a flood-like situation across all the rivers. Particularly, we visited in Sankraparni River, where it's a fully flood alert level is there, and also we are right now at the location where the Mundiambakam railway station, which is washed away due to the cyclone and also heavy rain. So the Southern Railway has said that from Mundiambakam railway station to Vikravandi, the in-between total the track is damaged. So all the southern bound, like from Chennai to every southern bound trains are cancelled, or some trains are rerouted via Arakonam, Katpadi. So the passenger transportation service between from Trichy to Chennai is totally stopped, and also the national highways near Vikravandi has also affected. So that is the latest update on this, and also particularly the schools and colleges, we already said it's already given holiday for today, and also tomorrow there is expectation because there's still some kind of essential services, and also particularly the electricity has been not given to the parts of Viluppuram and also the Puducherry. And the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin also is going to visit Villupuram to review the situation, and the state and central authorities, particularly NDRF, is in full swing on rescue and relief activities.
Also, Anbarsan, tell us about the rescue efforts put in place to cope up with the loss by the government.
Yeah, there is an incident in Thiruvannamalai where the landslide has happened. Nearly 7 people are feared to be stranded under the land. So the NDRF, National Disaster Relief Forces, in last 12 to 18 hours, they are in work to rescue them. And at various, nearly the Dakshin Bharat area army also deployed in Puducherry to rescue and relief activities. Nearly yesterday, around 100 plus people are stranded people in their ground floors. They will be rescued and sent back to their safer places. The state authorities of Puducherry and also the Tamil Nadu are make sure that the electricity and the normalcy to make sure normalcy to came back again to these 2 districts. And also other significant incidents in other districts like Krishnagiri, Dharmaburi, where the Cyclone Fengel is going towards. It's giving a historic heavy rainfall, particularly nearly around 30 centimeter of rainfall has been registered near Arur and also the Uttangarai, that is comes under the Krishnagiri and Dharmaburi districts. So wherever the vessel is going on, the historic rainfall, and also it's statically slowly going towards the westernwards. So the rainfall still, we are after crossing 48 hours of cyclone, still this Mundiambakam and Villupuram districts getting rain, and the climate is still in a worsened situation. And also the Indian Meteorological Department also given warning to the fishermen to not venture into sea.
All right, thank you so much, Anbarsan, for joining us and giving us the latest update. Moving on, Delhi Airport has introduced a new initiative to enhance passenger convenience during flight delays caused by fog, weather or technical issues. Now, special enclosures are now in place at all 3 terminals to facilitate smoother processing for affected passengers. Located near bus boarding gates and aero bridges, these enclosures streamline security screening, enabling passengers to re-enter the terminal security hold area quickly, reducing reboarding time from 2.5 hours to just minutes now. Designed to accommodate 55 to 120 passengers, the enclosures offer essential amenities like toilets and vending machines, ensuring passengers' comfort. CISF personnel and private security staff will oversee the safety, which airline staff will assist with the passengers' movement. The India International Science Festival 2024 is on at IIT Guwahati in Assam from the 30th of November till the 3rd of December, with an aim to steer India into a science and technology-led manufacturing hub. TD India's Amit Mukherjee caught up with Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan, who's the director of NIIST CSIR, to discuss India's future plans to promote innovations in science and technology.
At the India International Science Festival, I have with me Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan. He's the director of NIIST, Trivandrum. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
The first question I would like to ask you, that there is a focus on youth engagement and innovation. So how do you look at this platform to take this goal forward?
Yeah, mainly if you look at the concept of ISF itself, to cultivate the science in the young minds, mainly from the school children to young generation of the India, because they are the future of the India. When we are going for the Viksit Bharat 2047, these are the people who are going to drive our country. And the concept and the theme of this year ISF is the how to make science and technology driven manufacturing hub. That is our Prime Minister dream of making that Viksit Bharat using the manufacturing hub. But that we need to give a science and technology push for that. Presently, if you look at 1 to 2% contribution of high-tech trade, that has to be increased, and then the contribution of almost 26% of the GDP has to be increased in the different sectors.
Right. So we have also been talking about international collaborations in this forum. So how do you think we can contribute to the global R&D using this platform and taking this whole concept forward?
Yeah, if you look at name itself, India International Science Festival, even you can see a lot of foreign nationals also join. For one example, I can give that International Coconut Community Executive Director, Director General, has visited yesterday. So she has interacted with the lot of people here. So this is the what we wanted to drive using this one, and also they can join and they can collaborate with the local entrepreneurs, local agencies.
That would be an inspiring session. So one last question is, you have selected the Northeast this time for this festival. Any particular reason behind this?
Yeah, definitely. This is a 10th edition of ISF. We have done the ISF in the different part of the country, but this time our Honorable Minister wanted to do it in the Northeast because this is a gateway of all Northeast state. So better to put it here and bring all the Northeast state participants. For example, I said that the students' village, not only students are come from the Gaugati, it has come from other places as well. So that is the main purpose we have come here, and this will go throughout the country. So last 10 years were too late, I feel. So better choice by the Honorable Minister, and we are also seeing a lot of people. You can see that they are coming and enjoying this festival. They can take home. Yes, science is the future of the country. We can also pursue science. We can also practice science. Definitely science. If your country is strong in science, you have a bargaining power.
Thank you so much, sir, for talking to DD India.
Thank you so much.
So that was Dr. C. Anantha Ramakrishnan at the International Science Festival with camera person Kumar Datta, Amit Mukherjee for DD India in Guwahati, Assam.
Now 40 years have passed since the Bhopal gas tragedy, the world's biggest industrial tragedy that took place in Madhya Pradesh's capital Bhopal on the night of 2nd and 3rd December in the year 1984. Thousands of residents of Bhopal died in this tragedy. The poisonous gas leak from the factory of Union Carbide Company located in Bhopal was so horrific that the third generation of gas victims are still suffering its pain. Now, this gas tragedy in Bhopal was one of the deadliest industrial pollution disasters in the history as well. This is why National Pollution Control Day is celebrated on the 2nd of December every year.
These children are a stark, poignant reminder of the horrors that befell on Bhopal on the fateful intervening night of 2nd and 3rd December in 1984. A poisonous gas, methyl isocyanate, from the Union Carbide factory in Bhopal leaked. These are the third and fourth generation of the Bhopal gas victims who are still suffering the consequences of the fatal leak. About 558,125 people were directly affected by the leak, and the number of those partially affected was around 38,478. 3,900 were left completely disabled.
भयावह मंजर था कि रोड पे लाशें पड़ी हुई थी, मवेशी पड़े हुए थे। आप सोचिए क्या स्थिति होगी।
तो ये गैस पीड़ितों की अब तीसरी पीढ़ी है जो इस दंश को झेल रही है, और पुरानी पीढ़ी में तो गंभीर बीमारियां, किडनी है और तमाम तरह की गंभीर बीमारियां हो ही रही हैं।
The Modi government has linked the Bhopal gas victims and their children with the Ayushman scheme. Ayushman cards of a large number of gas victims have already been made, and the work of making Ayushman cards for the remaining ones is also underway. Earlier, gas victims had to depend on Bhopal's gas relief hospitals for free treatment, but now they can get free treatment up to Rs 5 lakh in any corner of the country through Ayushman scheme.
जो गैस पीड़ितों के लिए आयुष्मान कार्ड जो बने हैं, अब उससे ये होगा कि आदमी कहीं प्राइवेट में जहाँ भी उसकी मर्जी आएगी वो इलाज करा लेगा।
गरीब को मतलब एक सहायता मिली आयुष्मान की, हो तो कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं है उसमें। हाँ, हमारा कार्ड बन गया, हमारे घर में सभी का बन गया।
40 years later, the memories of the fatal incident trigger intense debate and discussion. Even now, apart from methyl isocyanate, traces of phosgene, hydrogen cyanide, carbon monoxide, hydrogen chloride, etc. were found in the gas cloud. This gas tragedy in Bhopal was one of the deadliest industrial pollution disasters in history. National Pollution Control Day is celebrated on 2nd December in memory of the people who lost their lives in it. With inputs from Aditya Srivastav, Antara Sinha for DD India.
And now let's take a look at other stories making news around the country. Assam Divas, popularly known as Sukhapa, is being celebrated today in Assam. The day is commemorated in the honor of Chaolong Sukhapa, the founder of the Ahom dynasty. The core celebration is being held at the World Heritage Site of Chiraido Maidam, organized by the Department of Cultural Affairs. The Uttar Pradesh government has declared the Mahakumbh area of Prayagraj as a new district. The new district will be known as Mahakumbh Mela district. The new district has been formed to smoothly manage the special event of Kumbh Mela and conduct administrative work in a better manner. The upcoming Mahakumbh, held once in every 12 years, is scheduled to begin on the 13th of January and will conclude on the 26th of February in North India's Prayagraj. The 35th edition of the Konark Festival began in East India's Odisha, with the iconic Sun Temple at Konark serving as a stunning backdrop for the cultural event. The opening evening captivated audiences with dance performances. The 5-day festival is being hosted by Odisha Tourism in collaboration with the Odisha Sangeet Natak Academy and the Odisha Tourism Development Corporation. The Konark Festival will continue until the 5th of December. The 14th International Sand Art Festival began in Odisha's Chandrabhag beach, featuring 129 celebrated sand artists, including 8 international participants from the UK, Mexico, Germany, Japan, Russia, Portugal, Spain and Sri Lanka. The festival highlighted this year's thematic masterpieces alongside contributions from national artists representing Odisha and 7 other Indian states. A total of 35 sand art creations were made on the themes of women empowerment, Odia Ashmita and world heritage and the monuments. Justice Murda Nirupa Fernando was sworn in as the new Chief Justice of Sri Lanka before the President Anura Kumara Dissanayake at the Presidential Secretariat on Monday. Now she becomes the 48th Chief Justice of Sri Lanka and the second woman to hold this position. Justice Fernando succeeds Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya, who recently retired. Her appointment received approval from the Constitutional Council. Now, Germany's most popular car maker is in more trouble. And following the announcement in recent weeks that management may shut plants or cut thousands of jobs, the workers are staging protests and walkouts in big numbers. The workers' union warned that this may be the toughest dispute Volkswagen has ever seen. For more on this, we are joined by DW correspondent Varda Imran in Berlin. Varda, good afternoon. Tell us about what the unions and the workers are demanding so far.
Thanks for having me. Thousands of workers are slated to strike today in a wage dispute that has escalated ever since Volkswagen announced layoff plans and plans to close some of its plants and factories here in Germany. The strike plan for today is in response to a latest round of failed negotiations with the VW management. The union negotiator said that Volkswagen has, quote, set fire to our collective bargaining agreements. The strike is called across all plants in Germany. Now, Volkswagen workers are part of this union called IG Metall, which is the strongest union in all of Germany and represents more than 300,000 workers across different industries. Now, there was a labor truce in place until this weekend between Volkswagen management and the workers. And when negotiations still failed to bear any fruit, the protests were announced. Now, what do they want? Well, they want their 120,000 strong workforce to be protected and to avoid wage cuts as much as they can.
Also, Varda, tell us about what the crisis at automakers have to say about this ongoing turmoil.
So Volkswagen is pushing for its employees to agree with a 10% pay cut with layoffs on the table. The company also said it really respects workers' rights and wants to encourage constructive dialogue and to, quote, reach a lasting solution that is collectively supported. Of course, these all sound like the right things to say, but the fact that since the cost-cutting announcement, none of the negotiations worked is a bit worrying. Now, the automaker is experiencing some of its toughest times. In October, the company reported a 64% drop in Q3 profit. And it was economic reasons that led the company to shut their plant in the Xinjiang province in China last week. Germany's biggest automakers, Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz, have all downgraded their profit forecasts. And the trouble in the auto sector is evident in Europe as a whole, too. The CEO of Stellantis, it's the parent company behind big names like Opel, Peugeot, and Citroën, the CEO has left before his term ended. And this has caused some trouble and led the company to lower its profit forecast as well. So there does seem to be a crisis in this auto industry.
All right, thank you so much, Wada, for joining us and bringing us the latest on this. Now, there's a good news with regard to India's Unified Payments Interface, or UPI, revolutionizing digital payments. India's UPI achieved a new milestone in October 2024, processing a staggering 16.58 billion financial transactions worth 23.49 lakh crore rupees in a single month. Now, this represents a 45% year-on-year increase from October 2023, solidifying UPI's position as a cornerstone of India's digital transformation. And news just coming in, around 100 people are feared to have been killed following clashes between fans during a soccer match in southeast Guinea. Angry demonstrators also vandalized and set fire to a police station. The Prime Minister in Guinea's junta-controlled government has called for calm. As per reports, the match was part of a tournament organized in honor of Guinea's junta leader Mamadi Doumbouya, who seized power in 2021 coup and has declared himself as the president. You're watching DD India News Hour, and now it's time to get you all the latest from the world of sports. To begin with hockey first. India will be pitted against Malaysia in the Men's Junior Asia Cup semi-finals in Muscat on Tuesday after they thumped South Korea by 8-1 in their last pool match on Sunday. Arijit Singh Hundal, Arshdeep Singh, Gurjot Singh, Rosen Kujur and Rohit found the back of the net against Korea. India have remained unbeaten in the tournament, winning all their 4 games. They have been the most successful team in the tournament's history with 4 titles in bag. The tournament doubles up as a qualifier for next year's Hockey Junior World Cup, which will be held in India. Meanwhile, Pakistan will take on Japan in another semi-finals on Tuesday. In chess, Indian chess grandmaster D. Gukesh and Chinese champion Ding Liren played out yet another draw in the 6th game of the World Chess Championship final on Sunday. D. Gukesh finally accepted a draw after rejecting Ding's offer earlier in the game, with the 2 players shaking hands after 46 moves. Liren took lead after winning the opening game before the pair settled for a draw in the 2nd game. The 3rd fixture was won by D. Gukesh. However, game 4, 5 and 6 have all ended in a draw. At the end of 6 games, the players stand tied on the scoreboard with nothing to separate them at 3 points each. And India's chess grandmaster Arjun crossed 2800 mark in the latest FIDE rankings. The 21-year-old has become the 16th player in the history to achieve this milestone and the 2nd Indian after 5-time world champion Vishwanathan Anand. Arjun achieved the milestone after defeating Russia's Dmitry Andreklin in the 5th round of the European Chess Club Cup. In the December FIDE rating list, he stands at 2,801 ranking and currently ranked 4 in the world. The DAV National Sports 2024 kicked off at a grand spectacle at the iconic Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium, leaving a lasting impression on sports enthusiasts. The event brought together over 20,000 athletes and coaches from 22 states, competing in 30 exciting games across 6 world-class venues across Delhi NCR. For 3 action-packed days, venues like CWG Khelgaon, Yamuna Sports Complex and Chhatrusal Stadium of New Delhi witnessed thrilling performances from DAV students in both boys and girls category. This national-level extravaganza showcased not just the sporting prowess of the participants, but also their unity and spirit.
that he gave us, that we started working on this. We have to have Fit India. DAV is in 21 states. So if DAV stays fit, you can believe me, India will stay fit. So that was the idea, and we started working on it. And today, I think from the inter-school level, then on to cluster level, then on to zonal level, and now on to national level, 20,000 children today are participating in this national level, which is a very, very large number.
Now, the animated musical adventure film Disney Moana 2 made history with a record-breaking opening at the domestic and worldwide box office during the 5-day Thanksgiving weekend. The movie, which is setting a new Thanksgiving box office record with $221 million, globally has earned $386 million so far. Alan Birchman, co-chairman of Disney Entertainment, said that Moana 2 exceeded high expectations and it is a testament to the phenomena Moana has become.
To finish what they started.
Moana, show our people just how far we'll go.
Now, India's public service broadcaster Prasar Bharati has recently launched Waves, entering the field of OTT. Now, Waves provides a complete infotainment ecosystem to digital media and OTT audiences. If you also want great content for free, then download Waves right now. And that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India News Hour. Namaskar.